Imagination is more important than knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Information is not knowledge. The true value of a human being is determined by the measure and the sense in which they have obtained liberation from the self. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. The only sure way to avoid making mistakes is to have no new ideas. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. You never fail until you stop trying. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which they have attained liberation from the self. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science, measured against reality, is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. The world is not dangerous because of those who do harm but because of those who look at it without doing anything. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. A person who is religiously enlightened appears to me to be one who has, to the best of his ability, liberated himself from the fetters of his selfish desires and is preoccupied with thoughts, feelings, and aspirations to which he clings because of their superpersonal value. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism, how passionately I hate them. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. The man who regards his own life and that of his fellow creatures as meaningless is not merely unhappy but hardly fit for life. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value.